Hello, everybody, and welcome to Kyrus Has Friends, the show where I sit down with the people that matter to me the most, and those people are my friends. Before we get to our special guest today, be sure to follow me on your favorite social media platforms. You can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at The Vibe with Kai. You can also follow me on Snapchat and on TikTok before it gets banned. Follow me there at Kyrus Keenan. And you can always visit my website, thevibewithkai.com, where I'm always posting blogs and videos and things that help you do good, feel good, be good, and live a good life full of good vibes. But enough about me. Enough about me and my nonsense. Enough about me and my TikTok and my Facebook and my Twitter. And I'm sitting here with a friend that we've never really had like a full conversation before, even though we've been in the same room Lord knows how many times. We have the same group of friends, and we love the same exact things, but we've never had this is our first like full on conversation, and all of you listening and watching right now, you get to witness it. You get to witness history in the making.
Yes, in my mind, it's like Steve Rogers meeting T'Challa.
Oh, absolutely, dude.
I'm
Wakanda forever.
yeah, dude. Oh, dude. I mean, oh God.
Dude, I'm sitting here with actor, singer, performer, cosplayer, good man overall, Mr. CJ Carter. CJ, what's good, homie? How are you?
I am doing great, Kyrus.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, man.
For having me as a guest on this, man. I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm excited just to connect, I think, is the thing. I'm just excited to talk, man.
I know.
Awesome.
It's funny because like you would think that because I know like a lot about you, and I've seen
Yeah.
you perform like so many times. And for those of you that don't know, CJ is incredibly talented. He's incredibly talented, and he's a smart, funny, handsome man. He is like a good person. And now I'm sitting here chatting with you. How are you holding up during the pandemic, my friend?
You know what? I'm actually selfishly probably doing better than a lot of people. I feel like, I feel like this time has been so good for me to just, kind of like what you've been doing, just to
Mhm.
sit back and like reflect
Yes.
on myself and just really the things that we all value at the end of the day, and just how to, I've just been thinking so much about like, I don't know, the experience of life and
Mhm.
just everything. And I feel like there's so much that we miss in a day that now I've become so aware of that. And I'm trying to, at every chance that I get, just make every day count and
Yes.
just,
Oh, dude, yeah.
seize my moment, man. That's all I'm trying to do. It's something that you kind of touched on in one of your YouTube videos, actually, where you
Mhm.
talk about, Aaron Burr.
Mhm.
And the 3 points that you brought up were, I know what you can control.
Mhm.
You know your worst case scenario and see the good in everything. And
Mhm.
all of those things, like, dude, that's like you kind of already like put that verbiage out there, and like I've just kind of soaked it up. And I'm sure that a lot of you listeners have.
I
And
expect my royalties to come in the
it's
mail.
yeah, it'll be Monopoly money. I hope you don't
Yeah.
mind that. That's all I can afford right now.
Dude, I hear you. I hear you. Dude, like it's funny because I feel like you hit a really important point here, because I feel like people, like, 2020 is what you make of it, right?
Absolutely.
Like it's easy to sit here and say like, oh, 2020 sucks. And don't get me wrong, 2020 is not my favorite year of all time, sure, but
Yeah.
but but 2020 is what you make of it. And at the end of this year, as you head into 2021, you're going to look back, and like Aaron Burr says, I am the one thing in life I can control. So
Yeah, man.
so what did you do? What can you control to change that outcome, or to at least put yourself on the path towards being successful? And
Mhm.
and that's what I try to instill in myself and other people, and all of that. And I see you doing your thing, man, and then, like, it's fascinating. But I want to talk to you about performing for a little bit, because, like,
Yeah.
obviously we met each other through theater. Do you
Yes.
remember theater? Do you remember that thing called theater? You remember that?
I it's funny for me because I virtually have not really stopped working
Hmm.
in that realm still. So
Yeah.
while I still miss getting to perform, and I
Yeah.
miss the adrenaline rush of just you know, I don't have to explain to you just the sheer feeling of being on stage. What
Yeah.
we do is the most ephemeral art. It is
Oh
created in
yeah.
that moment and it is
Yes.
gone in the next. It is something
Yes.
that cannot be masked and or cannot be replicated by anything else. Film
Absolutely.
will always be there. You know,
Exactly.
Hamilton is a testament that yes, we can capture some amazing moments of the stage and we can hold on to that and you can remember it and you can cherish it, but until we get to do that again, it's
Oh man.
what we do is not coming back.
Yes.
Like it,
Yeah.
we are just, we're gonna wait for it. Like
Yeah.
so,
Pun,
sorry to
pun
keep
intended. Pun intended.
yeah. Sorry, Lynn. I think we're gonna have to. You're gonna have to give us something to talk about here because this has become so much of like gospel to me now
Yeah.
that it's hard for me to not pull from that show in an everyday aspect of my life to just. It's almost like the perfect art form because I can pull from that in this conversation and in the conversation we're going to have again,
Yeah.
because I can just use it to paint a picture for you. And I'm a person who likes to use examples all the time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
just putting that out there so I'll keep going back to
No, it's
this
fine.
during
It's funny. It's funny we
our
bring up
thing.
Lin-Manuel Miranda because, like, obviously we have Hamilton and In the Heights has been, one of the, biggest effects for me. So much so that, like, on my arm, and you probably can't see it. Here says Respira,
Love
and
it.
here says Paciencia Fe, which are two songs from In the Heights.
I love it. I love
And
it.
they serve as just reminders for me. Paciencia Fe means patience and faith, and Respira means breathe, and just to have those reminders on me, like literally tattooed on my body, has been, really important for me. Has been a godsend because I sit here sometimes when I'm feeling like, when I'm feeling like, oh gosh, and then I look down at my arm and I see patience and faith, and I'm like, that's it, got
I
it.
love it. I love it. Yeah.
Do you miss the live audience side of things?
I definitely miss the live audience side of things. That goes hand in hand with what makes theater special. And
Yeah.
it's not for anything of it's not for anything other than just the reaction of the audience. Just knowing that you've done something that my fifth and sixth grade acting teacher, Terry Seggio, she used to tell us this prayer that we would do every day before a performance. And it didn't matter what performance we did, we always did this. And we would all stand in a circle, everyone in the cast, including everyone backstage, whatever. We would all stand in a circle and we would all recite with a song on my lips and a prayer in my heart. Please help me to make just one person in the audience happy tonight. Break a leg. So this mantra has almost become like just commonplace for me in anything that I do. That if there's an audience, that means that there's a chance that I can affect someone and I can potentially change a life today. Not through anything other than I have been working to tell a story.
Mm-hmm.
And if I can completely shatter the illusion for you that I am becoming a different person. I am no longer myself, and I've just worked so hard for this to tell this story for you, that if you could just smile, and I know I can get a smile from one person,
Right.
It doesn't matter if the audience is 500 people or like 6. So if we could just get like 6 people in an audience now with social distancing, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Because I could go for that.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I'll take what I can get.
Yeah, man.
It's funny you said that. When theater does return, do you think it's going to be the same? Like everything that we're talking about right now.
No.
Obviously. Do you think it's going to be? Do you think it's going to be a little bit different?
I think that every challenge that we face, every enterprise that there is, every possible world of creativity, or really whatever you have in the business world and just in the world of the arts, nothing is going to be the same from now on. We are now entering a world in which not only do we have to worry about airborne terrors, but we also just have to worry about, everything. We are so worried about fear itself at this point that it's going to take a long time for everyone's psychology to be okay with a lot of things from now on.
Mm-hmm.
And going to the theater and having that experience is something that should not be cheapened for anything. But at the same time, we need the expression right now. Like we need theater more than anything right now. But it's going to be different. Some things are going to have to change, unfortunately, and it's just because now, because of tensions and because of fear of illness and everything else, people are just going to have more of a mask on or more of a guard than they ever did before.
Right, a literal and figurative mask.
Yeah, and now as an actor and as a director and a musical director and a choreographer, how am I gonna now break through that barrier? Like if I can't, you know what it's like to have someone just tell someone who may be turned off to something or maybe scared about something or closed-minded about something. You know how hard it is to talk them off a ledge. What is it going to be like if we have an audience full of people that way?
Yeah.
In all honesty, it just might make our job all the more rewarding because we just have to work even harder to just be like, look, all that we're here to do is just like brighten your day a little bit. Like we don't have to do this and you don't have to come here, but we have now made this connection. The minute you bought that ticket, the minute that you said, yeah, CJ, I'll come see your play. The minute that you say that, we now have a connection. I am going to work as hard as I can for you because I've done the show before. It doesn't matter to me anymore. I have the satisfaction of completing a goal that I already wanted. If I only got to do one night of a performance, that's all I needed.
Right, because that's what you worked for. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
I just wanted to tell a story. That's all that matters at the end of the day is the story and how you tell it. And that's just the same thing with life at this point.
Right.
It's the story and how you tell it and the players that you meet along the way.
Why have you and I never worked together? That's the biggest question that I want to know.
I thought about this the other day.
Happened?
I thought about this the other day actually, and you know, I think that it's one of those situations where maybe, you know, it's one of those Aaron Burr situations. Maybe we just had to wait. The timing wasn't right. There wasn't a project yet. It wasn't like, you know, this is what Kyrus and CJ should do. Like there was no project that's like, yeah, let's put these two guys together.
But let me tell you,
see what happens.
If there's any theater companies that are listening right now, you can make that happen. I'm just saying. You can say, hey, listen, we have CJ, we have Kyrus. They've been wanting to work together. Let's find something so they can both belt their faces off.
I could tell you the dream. Pardon me. Are you Aaron Burr, sir?
Oh my god. Dude, how many times have you watched Hamilton on Disney Plus?
My friend Dylan and I, I'm gonna get emotional when I talk about this. We have watched or listened to Hamilton every day since July 3rd when it premiered on Disney Plus. I have learned 85% of the show. Committed to memory. I have made this a goal that Lin-Manuel Miranda and Hamilton have made such a profound and significant impact on my life. I am not the same person that I was for multiple reasons after seeing that show. And it was such a gift that it was saved for this moment, you know, at this point in our lives and at this point in the country for everything. And I can't thank the man enough. And this show has given myself, and I speak for my friend as well, but has given us purpose. It has completely changed the way in which I view myself as well as others, as well as, you know, I identify with, whereas you identify with Aaron Burr, I am a textbook Alexander Hamilton. You know, I watch Lynn on stage and I'm like, I understand that thought process. I get it. I think in the same mindset. And to be able to see that and just be able to see just the magnitude of what it all was. It's not a play. It's not a musical. It's not an opera. It's not a piece of poetry. It's not a hip hop album. It is like the perfect culmination of like every art form. And I can't keep saying enough good things about it.
Dude, do you know how hard it was for me just now to just not even be like, it depends who's asking, and just keep going.
We could do the whole show. But I think the moment I'd most like to do with you is your obedient servant into the end of the show.
Oh, dude, that's probably I feel like that's one of the most underrated moments in the show.
Oh, absolutely.
When they're having that back and forth, right before, they go into like the dual aspect of things, but like
Yeah.
the letters that they're writing back and
Oh,
forth to each other, and the way that Leslie Odom Jr. and Lin-Manuel Miranda
they're
kind of
brilliant.
because it's so beautiful because it's so subtle,
It is.
right?
And
It's
that's what
so
makes
subtle and it's
Leslie Odom
beautiful.
Jr. is one of the greatest performers of the 21st century.
I agree.
He is a remarkable actor, singer, dancer. He is out there the entire time, pushing it, dancing full out with every ensemble member, and then serenades you with the most beautiful, like, just soothing voice. Like
Yes.
I
Man.
can't understand it. And he is I put a post about this on Facebook. Just the fact that even wait for it, the man, when he says, "What is it like in his shoes?"
Yeah.
he smiles
Yeah.
because he
Yeah.
revels in it. Because
Yeah.
as much as he despises what he has and what Hamilton has,
Yeah.
he envies it and he revels in it because he just can imagine, God, my friend Alexander Hamilton, like he went on for the rest of
Yeah.
his life to say, yes, my name's Aaron Burr. I shot my friend Alexander
Right.
Hamilton. Hi, how are you?
Right.
And it's just such a moral conundrum that I find myself just going back to it over and over again. And just like you said, that whole turn of events where they write letters to each other just goes to show the most remarkable thing is there was so much time that they had that they could have apologized.
100%.
I mean, this would be like
Mhm.
if you and I came together and from this moment, we then went down a long road
Right.
and in 30 years, you came to me and you're like, hey, CJ, like I just realized everything that I've done since I can remember, I have been stopped by you.
Right.
And I just want to know what you have to say for that. And I'm like, geez, Kyrus, wow, this is kind of out of the blue. You're going to have to be more specific. Okay, here's 30 years of
Yeah.
time that I've spent with you. And
Uh-huh.
I've written down for you every single time that
Yep.
you've pissed me off. And also every time I've just talked shit about you.
Right. Exactly.
But you're right. Yeah. And then he's
It's
like, okay,
insane.
so apologize. No.
No. Yeah.
No, because I'm right.
Right. Right.
And then
dude, oh my God.
It just doesn't make sense. And then even just the fact after that as Alexander Hamilton writes while he's talking to Eliza,
Yeah.
he's just writing a letter to make Burr's life even worse
Uh-huh.
in that moment. It's just all the more like, what is happening?
Right.
Like, why is this? Why is this a thing?
What's funny is like, and I wrote a Facebook post about this a while ago, but what I find to be hilarious about, and it's not hilarious for Aaron Burr, but I find it to be quite ironic. You probably know where I'm going with this, but after he shoots Hamilton, Hamilton dies, blah, blah, blah.
Yes.
Right. So like, as you said, Aaron Burr has to live with this for the rest of his life.
Mm-hmm.
And he continues to live his life. What I find hilarious is that Aaron Burr ends up marrying this other woman, this widow who has a lot of money, and he ends up like ruining that widow's like just estates and takes all her money and just like totally screws it up, so much so that she asks for a divorce, right?
Mm-hmm.
And her divorce attorney is Alexander
Philip
Hamilton's son.
Not Philip. Why did I say Philip? Wow.
Yeah,
Holy crap.
Philip's dead.
Philip's dead. Philip's dead. He died on 7. He's dead. Yeah. 7,
yeah,
boom. Yeah, he's dead. Yes.
no,
I love that. I absolutely love that.
And so her divorce lawyer is Alexander Hamilton's junior, right? And here's the biggest kicker. I think that he ended up getting served the divorce like the official divorce papers, like that it's complete on the same day that he shot Alexander Hamilton, like the same exact
incredible.
day.
That's incredible.
I find that crazy ironic, and
I
like
love
that's
that.
just life. That's just life. Dude,
No,
Hamilton
that is
so
just like
good.
that is just it is the perfect turn of events because
Yeah.
it just another moment. Can we do in the middle of nonstop?
Which part?
Yeah.
Oh, when he walks. Wait, which part?
The new U.S. Constitution? No. Hear me out. No way. A series of essays defending the public.
Dude,
That's one of my favorite moments because Leslie Odom Jr. takes on this like different body type, this persona. When Alexander Hamilton says, "You get nothing if you wait for it," he does this incredible like karate stance,
right.
dude. Like Oh my God, dude. It just, I don't understand how any of it works, but it all works perfectly.
I think my favorite Leslie Odom moment in that show is the moment that I knew was going to be my favorite even before I watched it. So like, I told you like my favorite line is "I'm the one thing in life I can control,"
Yeah,
right? And like the
absolutely.
moment he says, "I am the one thing in life I can control," and then there's just like this little beat while everybody's singing, like wait for it,
Where he
and then
moves his jaw and he's
right,
got his
right,
eyes closed.
and
Yep.
like that moment right there, like the way that he performed it
Yeah.
is like exactly how I pictured somebody should, and
Well, you're
more,
right. I
and more.
agree. 100%. 100%. I've had that conversation because I pinpointed, I think it's because what he's doing in that moment, that's his self-talk.
Yes.
Aaron Burr, Leslie Odom Jr., he is never worried about performing for the audience. I
Right.
will perform to you with my back to you multiple
Yes.
times in the show because you're just going to listen to every word I have to say.
Right.
Because
Right. Right.
I am not here to perform for you. I am living the life of another person right
Yes.
now. And he does that the entire time. And as soon as he does that, dude, he internalizes it. And it no longer becomes telling a story to the audience.
Yeah.
It's not about the audience. Everything in that show that he does is about Burr. There's
Right.
never a decision that he makes that isn't him trying to compose himself at all times.
Right. Right.
Because he's just like a loose cage of emotions. Like he never knows how to deal with what's presented to him at a certain time, but he does the best that he can, which is all any of us can do.
Right. Right. When was the first time you heard the music from Hamilton?
My microphone just fell. There we go. There's the excitement bit.
Yeah, right.
Yep. First time I heard the music to Hamilton was the week that it came out. My friend Izzy Figueroa gave me a copy of the soundtrack, and I listened to it going to and from rehearsal for Drowsy Chaperone at Cranford Dramatic Club, and just wept uncontrollably.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I kind of pocketed it away for a little bit.
Yeah.
And, I always like, if Hamilton came on Spotify playlist or anything else, I always would listen to it or whatever. But I had always separated. I don't want to fully invest myself in this until I can see it.
Yeah.
Because I know how much I've already gotten from listening to it. I mean, I can tell you the first time that I heard The World Was Wide Enough into the final moment of the show that I could not breathe. And it's a sensation that I still find myself having multiple times, because how do you deal with that? It's such an influx of beautiful sound, scenic view of costume, set, performers, dance, everything, just auditorily amazing. And the verbiage in it and the wordage that Lin uses is something that many people have said, and I will agree with, I have not seen or felt since the likes of William Shakespeare. Because what he does with hip hop and what he does with rhyming is almost the same as iambic pentameter.
Sure.
And it gives everything life. Christopher Jackson is the perfect example, because 90% of the show, he elects to speak his lines instead of rap them.
Yeah.
But he still is rapping the entire time.
Right.
He's making very specific decisions about what he does and says at every point. And it's because that's exactly what we did in the Renaissance.
Right.
And that I'm past patiently waiting, I'm passionately smashing every expectation, every action's an act of creation. What an incredible... there's a life to the wordage itself.
Yeah.
Alexander Hamilton's words on the page had significance. They had meaning and they had a life. And Lin was the only person that could have told that story, because the words got triple, quadruple, quintuple meaning.
Right, right.
Now they have meaning and will have been heard by probably 80% of the population at this point.
Right.
Like, I feel like everyone, any child has probably seen Hamilton at this point, because it's on Disney Plus.
Yeah, and even my mom has seen it. Even my mom has seen it. She like not that she isn't in the theater, because she is, but like she came over to my house one time, and I'm like, Mom, you're watching Hamilton with me. She's like,
Yeah.
okay. And then she loved it. And
Yeah.
she loved every second of it. You know, she was sitting like legit on the edge of her seat, like watching it. And I was like, my mom is into this. That means that
Yeah.
this thing is good. This thing is
Yes,
good.
absolutely. My sister's boyfriend, who is a full-time firefighter,
Yeah.
I got to sit and watch with me, and his favorite Broadway show is Phantom of the Opera. He loves it, and he comes and sees when I do shows, but he's not like a theater person.
Sure.
So I got him to sit and watch. He's like, "What is this?" I'm like, "It's the hip hop musical about the life of National Treasury Secretary Alexander Hamilton."
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm like, "Dude, I know. We've all had. I totally know. I totally get it.
Yeah.
But please just watch it with me." He's like, I mean, all right. It took me like 2 months. We watched it on Sunday.
Yeah.
I had to get it. I had to yell at him every 5 minutes to put his phone down because he just kept looking up information because he was so into the story that he was like, I need to know more like now. I don't want to wait. Like I need to know what's going to happen.
Right.
And I'm like, I understand, but if you do that,
but you need to watch it.
You need to watch it. You need to wait for it, dude. You got to wait for it.
That's what well, dude, we need to make this happen. Even if it's not Hamilton, at least something that you and I get to perform together. I do want to talk about your cosplay because you are quite good at the cosplay side of things. How did you get into that?
So I started. Cosplay is the same thing really as how I got into theater. Ever since I was very, very young. I'm talking 2, 3, 4, maybe probably even 1. My favorite thing was watching movies, and I loved playing dress up. I loved costumes ever since I was a kid. And what's amazing is I'm actually getting to relive this right now through my cousin's son, my cousin's son and daughter are basically like my niece and nephew, and they're over the house all the time. And he's just like me, where in the sense that he's a 3-year-old kid that knows every line to Ghostbusters, Monster Squad, every movie that came out in the 90s or 80s, Gremlins, The Mummy with Brendan Fraser.
Oh my God.
Yeah, this is a 4-year-old kid that has a costume that I made that looks like that, which goes in with the cosplay stuff. But it was the aspect of that. As a kid, I loved and had such an incredible eye for detail. I loved films. I loved costumes. And I had such an incredible eye for detail for it that I would always want to wear exactly what they wore in the movies. And I had to have a costume for like every character.
Right.
Like the Wizard of Oz, every character had a costume for it. Willy Wonka had a Willy Wonka costume. And if I didn't know where I could get it, I would try to find things around my house that I could put together. Halloween's coming up. Hocus Pocus is a big movie that everybody loves.
Yeah.
One of my favorite movies as a kid. I used to run around the house in my mom's silk poet shirt screaming Emily because I couldn't say Emily because I thought I made a Zachary Binks costume. That was just me. And my sister is 8 years older than me. So she had done a high school production of Pirates of Penzance.
Okay.
And I had, at that point, if she's in high school, she would have been 14. I'm 8 years younger. I'm terrible at math, so.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
She did Pirates of Penzance, and I mean, I'm already years into like cosplaying as a kid. Like,
right.
This is my thing. I'm acting out the movies. I get it. But just seeing people on stage in costumes doing it live is just like, wow, that was really cool. And then the next show I saw was Ragtime and followed it with Les Mis. Yeah. And by Les Mis, I was like, I want to be Thénardier more than anything.
Yeah.
Like, this is a little kid that's like, I had no idea what that show was or anything, but I was like, I wanted to be Thénardier, and I want to get into this. I want to keep doing this. So then the costuming got me into theater, and the theater then got me into costuming. Because from that point on, I was the kid that at every high school play, at every community theater play, I was always hanging around the moms who were doing the costumes. Because I knew that it had to look a right way. It's like, no, that's going to go on stage. That's got to be right. Like, I probably pissed so many choir moms off as a kid. I feel so bad to all the moms out there. But it was incredible. And my mom always was a producer for a lot of my shows when I was a kid. So I got to work with the parents and be like just like a little helper and things like that. And then eventually it came a point where I'm an adult and I'm doing a show for instance, for Hunchback of Notre Dame. I made my own
Which you were
costume for that.
fantastic in, by the
Oh,
way.
thank you so much. Thank you.
Come on, dude. Like, get out of here.
That is prior to Hamilton.
Mhm.
That show still has the most significance in my heart because
Right,
it
right.
was. I actually have right here above me my woven band
Oh, nice.
from Hunchback, which I made for the production. Um, but I made my costume, and that was when I had started cosplay CJ, because
Right.
the thought process became, wait a minute, I do this for theater, and I love. Ever since I was a kid, I've just always wanted to have every costume that I've seen in the movies, especially Marvel,
Mhm.
whatever it is. If I've seen it, if it's a prop, if it's anything, I immediately want it because I'm eclectic and weird.
Right.
I just need
You
it.
and me
I
both.
have to have it. Well, I'll have to tell you at the end of this what the project I've been working on, but we'll get to that. So I then started costuming for myself, and then when I
Right.
did Newsies, I always get to clear with the director of the costume
Sure.
first. Can I
Sure,
do
sure.
this? And 9 times out of 10, they'll normally say yes, because in community theater, that just means that's one less thing I have to worry about.
Sure.
Because you know that as a costumer in community theater, at the very last minute, you're going to get hit with 700 things you never knew you needed.
Yes.
So then,
that's an understatement.
yeah. But the interesting thing is that cosplay was something that I had always wanted to do, and I had always seen people do, and I always wanted to do.
Right.
But because I had in high school and up until I was 21 struggled very hard with my weight, it was something that I had never like allowed myself to have. It was almost like, yeah, well, you wanna dress like Captain America, you
Right.
want to be the Joker, like you want to wear those costumes. Well, you can't, because you don't look like them. You
Wow.
have to look like the person that you're
Yeah.
cosplaying as. And this was me talking to myself. And it's
Yeah.
like, dude, if you're dressing up in a costume, you're doing that to make you happy. And now I
Yeah.
preach to everybody, if there's anyone in the entire world, if you want to dress up as Captain America, no matter what skin color you are, no matter
Right.
what gender you are, anything,
Do it.
you dress up like Captain America.
Absolutely. In fact, as you're talking right now, I'm actually going to share my screen so people can see your Instagram page. I'm on your cosplay page right here.
Yes,
And
there it is.
and people can see, like, dude, like, get out of here. Come on with this. Get out of here.
That was my first
dude.
cosplay shoot. That's my friend Meg. She is my hashtag cosplay soulmate. We refer to each other as. Every project that we do, it's always like, hey, I'm thinking about doing this costume. And she'll always be like, yes. I'm like immediately there. Like I've been thinking about that for like 3 years.
Like,
so
come on, man.
That costume right there is actually that is the costume that I've made that I'm probably the most proud of.
Yeah, you made this yourself.
I had made the helmet piece for it, the headpiece, the torso piece. A buddy of mine by the name of Jared Hale on Etsy. He's a great cosplay EVA foam maker.
Right.
He had made the base piece of that for me, and then helped me out with some templates. I painted it. I helped put the rest of the chest piece together. I made the boot covers. I made the boot spats. I made the pole. I made the gloves. I distressed the jacket. I painted and made the pants. I mean, I put probably 200 hours of work into that costume.
Oh my
and
gosh.
when we took the stage at New York Comic Con, I mean, that was probably the most rewarding cosplay experience I've had. We were lucky enough to be invited up onto the Marvel stage, with a whole bunch of other cosplayers, and then got to meet Chris Claremont, who is the creator of Gambit and Rogue.
That is so cool.
And he had said that by far, out of the cosplays that he has seen of the characters, he had liked our interpretation of it the most, which was just like, dude, how do you get a compliment better than that?
Right. Like, it's like, that's as good as it gets.
That would be like if Lin-Manuel came to you and he's like, Kyrus, you need to play Aaron Burr, and I'm handing it to you right now. Like, you are the next Burr. It's like, dude, how do you respond to that?
Yeah, I'm scrolling through some of your pictures here. Like, oh my gosh, your Captain, come on, dude, get out of here with this. Come on, man. Like, this is just like top-notch stuff, man.
Thanks, dude.
Like,
yeah, I had a lot of fun with the cap shoot. Was really fun. That was done at the military base in Seegert. where they
Uh-huh.
have those are all real tanks and real helicopters that
Yeah.
it was funny because I was shooting there for probably about an hour,
Yeah.
and then a bunch of soldiers came over
Yeah.
and they're like, "What are you guys doing here?" I'm like, "Oh, we're doing like a photo shoot," and they're like, "Can we get a picture?"
That's so
I was like,
cool.
"Yes, 100%, absolutely. If you can just let me be here and not be mean to me that I'm in a
Right.
costume, like, yeah, that's fine."
Right. And they were cool about it. They were like,
They were cool. No, they were loved it. They were super nice about it. It was it was just super funny. It was like, this is honestly the coolest thing we've seen here.
right. Like, yeah, dude, these are awesome. So, like, people, y'all can you can follow my boy CJ here at cosplay_CJ if you want to take a look at more of these things because like he is like is this you as Beetlejuice too? Is that you?
Yes, that
Look
is
at
me as
that, man.
Beetlejuice. Yes, that was a fun one. God, oh my God. Speaking of dream roles, another dream role, Beetlejuice. Oh my God.
That's one show I haven't seen, but I've heard a couple songs from. I need to listen to the album because I heard good things about it.
It's delightful. It is what it is, and it's just, it's like, yeah, that's Beetlejuice, and it's just what it needs to be.
Right. Yeah, dude. No, man. What would you say is the like I know what you love about cosplay. What would you say is like probably the your least favorite part about cosplaying?
Money. No,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that is definitely a big part of it. Money money does become definitely a hard thing because for someone like me, I have learned through trial and error so many times
Hmm.
that when it comes to cosplay stuff, if you're gonna buy something
Hmm.
and you're gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna go like the super cheap route, expect it to last just as long as the amount of
Hmm.
money that you paid for it.
Sure.
I went through 3 Captain America suits before I got the one that's in those photos, and I
Really?
wound up wasting about $500 to $600
Wow.
because I bought things that were just, it was like it lasted for like a week, or
Right.
it didn't suit what I knew it was supposed to be. So in
Sure.
my
Sure.
mind, it wasn't it didn't fit.
Right.
You know,
You get what you pay for, kind of thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
but again, that's the trial and error of it, and it's just what we do. It's like every other art form.
Hmm.
You have to take the time to learn from it.
Yes.
So if anybody wants to cosplay out there, do it.
Yeah.
Take the time to learn it. You're gonna buy the wrong things, but
Right.
there's a world of people out there that can help you, and if you want to
Right.
make it, that's incredible. And there's also a weird stigma in the cosplay community. It's gotten better over recent years, but there used to be for a long time that if you didn't make your costumes and if you bought your costumes, like,
Hmm.
you're a fake cosplayer. Like, that's not real. That's false. That is
Interesting.
100% false. If
Yeah.
you are wearing a costume and you are playing, you are doing costume play, you are a
Right. It doesn't
cosplayer.
matter how you got there.
Yeah, you are
Yeah.
living your fantasy. Speaking
Right.
of which, if you don't buy a Black Panther
I
suit,
know, dude. Especially now, like rest in peace, Chadwick Boseman, man. Like especially now, man. Like I just like that. It's funny because I wanted to do because that movie came out in what January 2018, I believe,
mhm,
and I think it was 18 or was it 19? I think it was 18.
it was
Yeah.
18.
Yeah, so this and let me tell you exactly why. So like I've always had this thing about Halloween, right? Like Halloween has never really been like one of my like favorite holidays ever, right?
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
I know, it's crazy.
Okay, so complete
Yeah.
opposite. I thought I was with you.
Well, but here's the thing. So I had after seeing Black Panther, I was like, oh, well, I'm gonna be Black Panther for Halloween, right? And then Halloween of 2018, that's when I ruptured my Achilles. And I
Right.
couldn't go as anything. So like I couldn't even walk, right? So that's a year of recovery. So I couldn't do 2018. I couldn't do 2019 because like I was like still like recovering, whatever. And then so I have 2020. I have
You do.
2020. I
I
can
think
do it.
I think we should put it out there right now, and then put it out as a poll on your Instagram page. How You people out there, listeners, do you think that Kyrus should do a Black Panther cosplay? Is it
I
time
already
for
know the answer.
we are kingless right now.
I
Someone
know.
needs
Oh
to take
man,
up the throne, and
man.
I'm throwing out a nomination right now for Kyrus Kingless. Guys
I
out
need
there,
to.
everybody.
It needs to happen because like this has been. If there's one thing that'll take me out of the Halloween slump
Yeah,
that I've been in, it's definitely
you got to
dressing
do
up as
it.
Black as T'Challa, King T'Challa for sure, for sure.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. I don't know what this says about my character, but I kind of was like. I wasn't rooting for him, but the villain in
Killmonger is my
I
favorite part of the movie.
like.
I
I'm not gonna
understand.
lie.
Michael
I
B. Jordan
loved
is
him.
fantastic, and he was so justified in all of his convictions,
I believed every
which
second of it.
which is what I loved about him because
Hmm.
characters like Killmonger and characters like Claude Frollo,
Mm,
what I love about them is that in their mind they're completely justified in their
right,
actions
right,
because Killmonger does commit and do very bad things, but he's not a bad man.
right, right,
He's not he has a completely warped perception of life because of the terrible, terrible,
right.
terrible hand that he
Hmm.
was dealt.
It's like you can empathize. Like even though you may not take the actions that he is taking, you can
Mhm.
understand why he's doing
Yeah.
it, which is
Yeah, 100%.
insane. That's
100%.
insane.
And I will always maintain that Black Panther is the best live action Lion King movie that we've had
The best.
because the other live action Lion King movie was terrible.
Wait,
Uh,
actually, I was going to ask you what is Captain America your favorite MCU movie?
uh, oddly enough, I think my favorite MCU movie is Endgame, just
Okay,
because it. I
that's
mean,
number three for me. Number three.
okay. I think what's your number one?
My no. Okay, all right. Don't make fun
I
because
will not. I
I
promise. I promise I will not. Unless you say Thor: The Dark World.
no, 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 no.
Okay, then
No,
I'm
no,
not. I
no. You
guarantee,
don't have to worry
unless it's
about
Incredible
that.
Hulk, I'm not making fun.
No.
You're fine.
Winter Soldier is probably one of my
That's my number
favorite because
one.
I feel
That's
like
my number one.
because like
That's
that
my
was
number one.
just so good because like I feel like that set the tone because I think that was the first Russo
Yes.
brothers directed movie
Mhm.
that set the tone for like the rest of the MCU. Like I feel like
Yes,
Winter Soldier took it up to a level
it did.
that like
That
I
it
was
didn't
like,
have to
wait,
be.
what? Wait,
It,
what? And nobody
yeah.
was expecting that because to be honest, I didn't like the first Captain America movie. I
Mhm.
was not the biggest fan.
Yeah.
And then Winter
I could
Soldier
totally
came out,
understand
and
that.
I was like, "Oh my gosh!" So I would say Winter Soldier, number one. Number two,
I agree
I
with
would have
that.
to say Black Panther because it
Mhm.
just like it was just to see a black superhero for me. It was just
Of
like, oh
course.
my god. And then
And
number
and
three would be Endgame.
and aside from that, it is such an unarguably good movie
Yes,
that there's nothing anyone can say bad about it. If you
right.
say a bad thing about that movie, we know why.
Like don't get me wrong, it didn't have it's not without its flaws, right? Obviously,
Yes.
like but like come on, it's just
But
so
that's the
good.
charm of every movie is
Yes,
we know that even a perfect movie is not perfect.
yes, yes.
Even a perfect movie is not perfect.
I agree, one
My
hundred
favorite
percent.
film of all time is Jaws,
Is
and
it really
yes. So
nice?
I'm while I am very much a large theater person.
Yeah.
I have my first bachelor's degree was in film. I
No,
was a
I did
communication
not know
major.
that.
I was a communication major,
Yeah.
Kyrus, film studies. And then I
Wow.
just recently in May graduated with my second bachelor's degree. Actually, I went back to school for costume design.
Nice.
Um,
Congratulations, dude.
thank you, thank you. But yeah, no. I love film, and film is
Yeah.
like I said, it was my first love before I knew what theater was.
Yeah.
I just every movie has problems, and that's what makes movies great
Hmm.
because everyone will get something different out of it.
Yes.
And the fact that then we can talk, like I could sit here and talk to you about the problems in Hamilton. Like, did
Hmm.
you ever notice that Angelica's flower disappears during Satisfied 6 times?
No. Would
Because
never
it's
know
from
that. Yeah.
different nights and one performance her
Oh,
flower's
right,
not
right.
there,
Sure, sure,
so it
sure.
just keeps cutting back each take she doesn't have the flower.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
it's like, yeah, so that's an imperfection, but it's still
Right, right.
perfect.
Do
I
you,
can still argue that's perfect because
right.
nothing's perfect.
My favorite. So people will ask me all the time what my favorite movie is, and I can't. I don't have one, but I have three.
Okay.
So my favorite movies of all time: Men in Black.
Oh
So
God,
good. I can
yes.
quote that movie like the back of my hand. Men in Black, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind,
Okay. Yep.
and Children of Men.
Never seen it.
CJ.
Should we do a viewing
CJ.
party?
Dude, 100%. Dude, do you like Alfonso Cuarón? Do you like he did like Gravity and
He did my favorite Harry Potter film, which is
yes, yeah,
Harry
yeah, yeah.
Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, which
Yes,
is a
he
triumph of cinema.
that's my favorite Harry Potter book and movie.
Yeah, it's
Prisoner of
brilliant.
Azkaban. So if you like that, I implore you go
Okay.
watch Children of Men as a film studies
Awesome.
person. I think that you would because one thing that he does that I'm a big fan of what do they call like those long one take scenes. Oh, I can't remember what it's called. Like tracking shots. That's what it is.
Yeah.
He does tracking shots all the time, and there are, I would say, like 3 huge tracking shot sequences in that movie, like action ones that are just
Right.
like blows your mind. It's like, how in the hell did you
Yeah.
film
Did
this?
you film that?
Like, how did you do that? So I implore you, like, and plus it's just a good movie. Clive Owen, Julianne Moore, and the concept is really interesting. There hasn't been a birth on Earth in like 16, 17 years. Like, just women stopped having children, right?
Wow.
And Clive Owen stumbles upon a woman who's pregnant, and he has to transport her to safety. But there are people that want to take her and like uh, study her, but for the wrong reasons. Um, it's great. So I implore you, CJ, go watch Children of Men. You're
All
not going to
right.
regret it. I promise
I
you.
will add it to my. I'll rent it on Amazon tonight. I'm gonna do it.
Dude,
We're
I
gonna watch
promise
it.
you. Yeah, dude, 100%. So what's next for you, man? So like just to kind of like to wrap it up here, what's next for you? So like once things are, I guess, I don't even know. I don't even know when things are get back to normal.
Yeah.
But for you, like, what is the next step for you as a person, as a performer? What's next?
So the next step for me, I guess, is I mean I am connected. I am tethered to theater. It is what my life has kind of just worked out for. That is where I will, whether it's working in as a performer, whether it's in a theme park, whatever, all of that is theater. Entertainment is all theater to me.
Yeah.
I am bound to it, and I will do and work whatever I have to in that field, because it's the only way in which I feel satisfied. So
Yeah.
I think
I
for
can never
now,
be satisfied. Sorry,
no,
I had to.
you,
I had to.
I've said it twice, and I was a little surprised that you didn't point it out when I said it.
I thought
So
it.
I'm happy that
and now I couldn't help it.
I think, you know, until then, it's just kind of, I'm no longer really trying to say no to any opportunity that comes my way, because I think that a big part of me prior to 2020 CJ and prior to 2020 CJ are two very different people. And this is the version of me that I have now become the most pleased with, and I've come to terms with the most, and I'm fully happy being me. And I feel like for so long, because I have been riding on almost an Aaron Burr wave for so long, that I'm gonna wait, because I really don't know what the right thing is for me yet. But all I know is I think about things all the time, and for me to turn my brain off is a really hard thing, because I'm constantly working in my head about something. I'm always thinking about something at all times. And I have always thought, like, well, the time will be right for me, but I'm just going to wait until then, and I'm not going to risk it. So I have to be careful about it.
Yeah.
But I think 2020 CJ has now realized, no, you do not throw away your shot.
Yeah.
Every opportunity that comes your way can be a good one. And it's what you make of it and how you perceive it that will dictate your success and happiness.
Amen, dude. Dude, I'm so happy that we got to like sit and chat today.
This made my quarantine.
Yeah, man. No, we need to get together and hang out and just like and shoot the breeze and dude,
yeah, man. We'll just sing through Hamilton.
Okay.
Meet at Princeton, sing through Hamilton at Aaron Burr's grave.
Don't put anything out there that's not going to come to fruition, because I need that. I need that to happen.
I'm going to Aaron Burr's grave next week, and I plan on visiting multiple times. So
yeah, man.
Let's do it. We have to get together. We have to do something.
It needs to happen. And dude, I'm so thankful. If people want to see more CJ Carter, where can they go?
You can check me out on Instagram at cosplay_CJ. You can also follow me at CJ_Carter, which is my my regular Instagram. I have 2 YouTube channels. I have what used to be called Never Had a Friend Like Siege, where back in the day I had a Disney vlog, but now a bunch of my performance videos are on there, and you can see a bunch of highlights from Hunchback of Notre Dame and Newsies, as well as a few other shows. And Cosplay CJ, which has a few YouTube videos up right now that I posted about 1.5 years ago, but I am planning on getting more content out there as soon as possible. I'm working on hoping to build a small studio and recording space for me so I can get
Nice.
a lot more content out there.
Yeah.
And hopefully we can do this kind of thing
Yeah,
way more
man.
frequently.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I'm around, and if anybody has any questions or advice on cosplay or just wants to talk about Hamilton, anything. And if you want to talk about Hamilton, anybody out there who wants to talk about Hamilton, message me any time of the day and just say Hamilton, and I'll say yeah.
And you're like,
Okay,
yeah, what do you
sure.
want to know? Let's go.
What do you want to know? What do you want to know? What are we going to talk about? What song are we going to do? What are we going to talk?
Well, we should do it. We need to do like a record ourselves doing Dear Theodosia. Let's just do it.
Yeah, dude, 100%.
Let's just do it. Like I don't know how. Well, let's figure out the logistics, and then we'll record it, and then we'll get something out there for the people because the people want this. CJ, the people want it.
The people want it. They're asking for it. Their voices are very quiet. The people are asking to hear my voice. The country is facing a difficult choice. But when all is said and all is done, Jefferson has beliefs. Or has not.
My god! Oh my god! Yes, the voices are quiet, but you know what? They're there. Damn it!
They're there.
Thank you. No, CJ, thank you so much for sitting down with me. Everybody, go follow CJ. I'm putting up his everything that he just said about where you can follow him. I'm going to put that up in the description. I'm also going to put it down below so you can click through and go through there. And then if you want some more Vibe with Kai, you can always visit me on my social media platforms. Pick the one of your choices. It's all up to you. Visit me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at The Vibe with Kai, or you can visit me on Snapchat and on TikTok at Kyrus Keenan, or you can visit my website, thevibewithkai.com, where I'm always posting blogs and videos and things that'll help you do good, feel good, be good, and live a good life full of good vibes. With that said, CJ, man, I'm so happy that we got to sit and chat, my dude.
Me too,
and
dude.
I can't wait to do it again. This was a long time in the making, and I'm glad that it actually happened.
Yeah, man, and we have it documented.
It's documented.
We have it documented, man.
It's there
This
forever.
This is the reason why, so we can have it forever. That's why we had to wait.
Dude, thank you so much. Everybody else, thank you so much for listening and for watching. I love y'all. God bless and good vibes.